for, let's talk about, you have Stable Diffusion, you have DALLE, you have MidJourney, right? Those are the three.
Yeah, but I mean, there is, okay, so basically the OpenAI stuff is useless. It's useless.
It's bad.
It's not worth it. So the difference is between MidJourney, which is very good. It's a super good model, and Stable Diffusion. Of course, if you just compare Stable Diffusion and MidJourney, MidJourney is on another kind of level, right?
Yeah.
But since Stable Diffusion is open source, there has been tons of stuff that you can do on top of that, like more models, LoRa's model, you can merge the models together. You can do a lot of tricks. You can do a lot of stuff with ControlNet. There are a lot of tutorials. So like the most important thing.
Dumb question. Yeah. ControlNet. What's that, by the way?
So basically, assuming I want to generate a picture of a woman. Okay. I prompt a picture of a nice, good-looking woman on the street, and then maybe I get the first one, it's with, the arms up, and the other maybe is like this, etc., etc. And with ControlNet, you can guide the generation process by making the model following some pose. For instance, like I can take a picture of myself, and then I can say a picture of a good-looking woman on the street, and the picture will match my pose in one example.
Will it match other things as well, like background or something?
Yes. So basically, in ControlNet, you have the concept of the preprocessor that will basically extract what you want the model to follow. So you can do the pose, like with the key points. You can also do a depth mask. Okay, so it will basically match, the depth of the input image. You can also use the candy. So basically you get the edges, and that usually is used if you really want to match very specific input image. And now they also have this segmentation. So I can go ahead and segment an image like on a model trained on Coco, 820K, etc. And then I will generate a new image with the same semantic on the same place. And you can do a lot of different things, like also for the hands, assuming that I'm generating a picture on a specific pose, and then the hand is kind of weird, then I can go ahead, I can mask the hand, I can take a new picture of the hand how I want it, also in 3D, like I can move a 3D kind of model, and then
like image editing, you mean?
Yeah. And then basically I re-render the image by just rendering the head in the position that I want it to be.
With a new prompt or
with a new prompt,
whatever prompt you want.
Also for the face as well, there are some models that will give you the points on the mouth, the eyes. So that's very good. If you usually the workflow is I generate a picture of a human, and then I mask the face, and then I control it with let's say the key points on another face. But since I'm generating inside the masking part and generating a high resolution image, that I can then place it there. So that's more details. And that is good, because then you have a lot of more open source stuff to maybe do the upsampling part. Like you can do the sampling in the latent part in the model, and that's pretty nice, because you're not basically increasing the number of pixels from the image. You are basically upsampling the latent space, so you create more pixels, but you add more stuff in the image. So that's it.
Right.
Yeah. So assuming that I take a screenshot of myself here, I want to do a 4 times upsampling. Maybe I will add more details around the image. So that's,
wait, I didn't understand that. So wait. How could you use Stable Diffusion for upsampling?
I meant that the open source community around the Stable Diffusion stuff, you have a lot more of tools that you can go ahead and use. And usually there is a web interface that is built on Radio that is called Stable Diffusion Web UI from Automatic 1111 that basically has a lot of stuff that you can do. And people can create that. I mean, people have been creating like some plugins for it. They make PR. It's full, open source, etc. So, and then it's so nice because you have a lot of videos on YouTube that you can go ahead and look, for tricks and tips. And then like you have the Reddit channel with like 200K people who are sharing tricks, issues, etc. So
just to see if I like understand, like basically, with Stable Diffusion, obviously because it's open source, you can do a lot of. First of all, you can do more experimentation, right? Because it's you can run it infinitely. Basically,
it's the same thing like with Llama and GPT-3, right? So like with the Llama weights, models, etc., you have a lot more of tricks that you can apply from different people from GitHub. But but the difference between Stable Diffusion and MidJourney is similar to Llama and GPT-3, but on steroid. So for Stable Diffusion, you have a lot of stuff, a lot of models, a lot of weights, a lot of LoRa's, a lot of styles, etc.
But the image quality generation, is it like
vanilla? So like if you just doing a random prompt, so just if I take a prompt on MidJourney, like MidJourney, you don't really need to do some crazy prompting stuff.
Yeah, it's just good out of the box.
So MidJourney will be just super better than Stable Diffusion. But if you take
less prompt engineering, right? Because prompt engineering is maybe
I don't know if that's really prompt engineering because I mean, it's I don't know. I don't think it's not as random as we language models. It's it's more.
But like I see people doing like photorealistic 4K on a pedestal, whatever. Like
but like usually for each kind of model types and LoRa's and weight, you have some kind of guidelines on the prompt that you're supposed to do, and it's super cool because you also have the negative prompts and you also have negative prompts embedding. So are some sort of LoRa's that instead of add information to the model, they try to remove information, right?
So this is with this Stable Diffusion.
Yeah. And the cool part is mostly only for Stable Diffusion 1.5. You might say, but it's kind of weird, right? Because Stable Diffusion 2 or 2.1, it was supposed to be better, etc. But since they have trained it in a more safe way, it's actually not as good with all the tricks upon. So like it's better vanilla, but it's not as good with all the tricks on top.
Okay.
And and it's super cool, man. It's truly a community that is super nice, because they're just there's so much cool stuff open source. And basically, so what the ControlNet guy, who is a student Stanford, so that's kind of crazy. Now he releases this new stuff in which basically you take an image, right? And then you then can generate variation with a prompt. So here in this case, the prompt is a dog running on grassland best quality of the same dog, And this is huge because before this, you had to train a Dream Boot or LoRa to inject the knowledge of this dog inside the model.
Yeah. Wait. This is awesome. Okay. So it's the same dog, but how is he able to get the same dog?
I have no idea. I have literally no idea.
Because then you could, but wait, could you then literally you could get like from different perspectives, like?
Yeah. I mean, you can stack more control now. So like, I can say, okay, I have this image here. I want to generate some variation, and then maybe I can do another round of control net in which I get the pose for a different one, and then I generate a variation with that pose, and then I can also have another one, etc., etc. So like, this is crazy. Here we can actually see that we have 3 arms, but the prompt here is kind of it's one goal and best quality. So this is a very simple prompt, and it's great. Like I have no idea. So like to give you an example. This is MidJourney V5. Okay, this is Stable Diffusion 1.5 with a specific version, with specific model trained on photorealistic images, right? It's not too bad.
It's a Stable Diffusion that's been fine-tuned on realistic ones?
Yeah,
you said?
yeah. This is specifically for portrait and photorealistic images.
So you have like, what kind of branches do you have for Stable Diffusion?
What do you mean?
Like you have people that's been fine-tuning Stable Diffusion for like realistic images. Have you, or are they, do you have, is Stable Diffusion more general so that it can, I mean, it can obviously generate.
I'm going to show you. So there is a website, it's called CVT AI. And basically here people are sharing LoRa's models, etc. And the blurred one are the ones that are not safe to show now. And so I can go on models, I can go on the, let's say the most downloaded. And here, I don't know, I can see, it should be all models. Right?
So it's like the Stable Diffusion weights, you mean?
Yeah. So on LoRa's, etc. So like, I don't know, I can say, oh, this model, it looks kind of nice. I go here, I will see some examples.
5 GB.
Yeah. I will see some example here. This looks kind of interesting, and then I will have some example here. Don't have to. Yeah, I mean and this is why this website is used instead of Hugging Face, because a lot of models, then are tested for other stuff, right? But like here, like I can go and say, look for. So this model was called photorealistic or realistic vision, which is one of the best one. I can go here, right? Why can't find it? That's a bit realistic vision. I downloaded it. Yeah, okay. So this is one of the best one. And then it's nice because you usually the community and the authors will tell you about the prompts. So like assuming I want to have an image that looks similar to this one. No, so here I don't have the prompt, right? But like this looks
usually
amazing.
Have the prompts on.
Yeah, usually have the prompt. Like look at this. Yeah, so like here I have the prompt, right? I have the prompt, I have the negative prompts, and
wait, they did that much prompt engineering for this?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah, so like this is a LoRa weight. It's called details, and you set it to a weight of 0.2. Yeah, I mean it's crazy, but a lot of these things are forsaken now. I mean this is crazy good. Like if you look at the skin imperfection, this is very good. The eye here is not so great, but you can fix that. The skin is very good. It's not bad. And here you can actually see that it tells me the sampler and all the this is 25 steps, so it took like 3 seconds to generate this image. 4 seconds.
So okay, let's say what do we if we just thinking of applications here, what could we build with this that would be, I mean there are so many things, right? But what have people used these things for?
Generate some assets, I've been following an artist on YouTube. She's a designer, I think from Sweden, and basically she now, instead of drawing from scratch, she starts with this kind of models and then maybe she refine it, she uses the technology to reach, the content that she was previously doing.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
this is great also because that's sort of people say it will replace artists, but it's great that artists are using it as a tool.
Yeah, I mean,
great, even better.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing as programmer who are using GPT-4. You are just faster, right? More or less. But if we talk about industry and market, I guess the modeling industry, it's gonna be the first one to be destroyed by this, right?
What do you mean?
Why should I pay a model,
to try this shirt?
No, why should we have influencers on Instagram, like hot young girls, You know,
Because they're real,
when
right?
when if I can create one that is,
But they're not real.
yeah, but I mean, it doesn't, yeah, who cares about that, right? It's just a matter of pixel who looks good on your phone, right? That's all it matters, right? I mean,
But don't you think the illusion that that person exists and that you have, maybe like you're following their journey in some way by following them on social media?
I mean, so I am pragmatic. So I think, I mean, just so like I have a constraint here. So like things on social media are fake by default, right? So I don't really care if I see some pixels on my phone who are from real people. I'm talking about like the influencers part, right? Like for me, it's the same thing because the goal is gonna be the same for the influencer part. So basically, have followers and make money from the sponsorship. So I don't really care if that is fake or not. I think that if we're able to generate something that can act as a generated TT influencer, then I guess it's kind of fun. It's gonna democratize beauty on social media, right? Because everybody can be a fashion influencer there, right? Not only some people who are really good looking, right? Um, so I don't know. I kind of play a lot with this kind of tech because it's my field, and
Yeah.
and I also want to show you
By the
this.
way, I just want to
Yeah.
say, like, I think the only thing I've used this, obviously for like, if you generate, logos and stuff like that, it's awesome. But also for things like sometimes for data set generation and for fixing, bad quality in your data set, it can also be used.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's
this
for
is
sure.
very specific to ML, right? But like how it can be used also, because I know we looked at also, there are very many creative ways you can use this and combine it with other tools, such as, we watched the segment in what was it, segment everything all at once, where you saw there was a guy who used it in combination with stable diffusion and was able to remove
The background, yeah,
a person as well, right? Or
yeah,
just like a
yeah,
yeah
yeah. Sorry, the
yeah, so
cause.
things like that, yeah, some like things like that are really cool. But yeah, to me, I have a little bit of like, I guess I'm not that close to the applications because there should be many, right, that where we can use these
So
things
I'm gonna
really
show you
awesome.
the application of TT stack in the cinema industry, which is huge industry. So this is crazy. This is crazy. So basically, okay. So here on the left you have the original footage for Cowboy and Aliens. That
Yeah.
actually it must be a very good movie. So I want to watch that. I mean, maybe tonight. And
Wait, that's insane.
yeah, and here you have a mixture of a Stable Diffusion control net. You have this AB synth that should be a model that specifically kind of try to maintain some sort of consistency between frames
Yeah,
and fusion
yeah, you
as
need to have
well.
that.
And look at this; it looks it looks very close to what Hollywood is doing now. You know. Okay, here. So the lighting, is not on the same color as this one, but this is something that you can fix in post process.
Yeah.
But if you look at the light direction, is the same one as here, right? It's coming here, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this
Mm-hmm.
direction. Here is the same and is consistent on the face. Fixing the light in post processing is very hard. Fixing the color is simpler because you just need to identify the part and the color that you want to change, right? But here
That's
is,
actually amazing. Yeah,
yeah, here you kind of see
it looks a little bit.
a little bit. But look, there is no flickering between frames, right? So there is very little flickering. I guess you can see that something here is going on, but you
Yeah, have
can.
you seen those old videos, by the way, where they have like videos from the early 1900s or something like that, where they they used GANs before, where they made it colorized and maybe upsampled and so on, and maybe it got a higher frame rate and so on. It would be interesting if you could use. I mean, probably Stable Diffusion would be a lot better, maybe for those type things than GANs.
Maybe yes. But I mean, it's crazy because, like, assuming that if I show you this frame here, and I don't show you the frame on the left, you will, at this kind of quality, right? This is not full HD and stuff. This kind of quality, you will never, say to me that it's generated. Impossible.
But I'm skeptical too, because how can Stable Diffusion? Because Stable Diffusion has limited on the output pixels, right? It can only do, what is it, like 1K?
Like you usually do like 512, 512, 766, 512, but then you do the upsampling part that you can go as far as you want. But I think that not a lot of people...
What's the best for that, by the way, for upsampling?
What do you mean?
Like what model is, do you know? What's state of the art for upsampling?
Yeah, so usually you have... so back at the beginning, you will use something called ASR GAN. It was like a GAN model. So now you actually have the upsampler for Stable Diffusion 2, if I'm not mistaken. And then there is another one that upsampling the
Wait, is ESR GAN still used?
At the beginning, that was the one that we were using for Stable Diffusion 1.
Okay.
Yeah. But like that most movies are filmed in full are shoot in full HD. They are not shooting 4K. They're usually shooting full HD, and then you do some sort of upsampling for the 4K, right? So all the people who both the the super expensive TV, like the Blu-rays, okay, I were claiming, because then I can see the real movie in 4K. That was all bullshit because it was shooting full HD. Also, the movies were shooting full HD, and so this is great. I mean, this is better than Deep Luke in the first season of the Mandalorian. This is better of that, right? And this is very. I think it's similar to Luke, that like the deep fake on Luke Skywalker on the second season of Mandalorian.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and like. Imagine the amount of value and money, and also also the kind of dystopicy.
Yeah, this is actually insane. Yeah, I mean, like how much they do these things for making movies. It's they do a lot of work for this.
Yeah, but so basically, like you will sell your face and your voice, as some sort of IP to a company, like. The actor that did Luke Skywalker for the part that was in the Mandalorian with the deepfake face, they also generated his voice, from recordings of previous movies, etc.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah. So I kind of think that in the future, very rich actors, they will sell for 50 years, they write to a company to use them, after they are dead. Damn. Which is not a stupid thing to do, if somebody will pay to you to use your dead face, maybe you will provide money for your family. But it's kind of dystopic, right? Because then, where is the incentive of being an actor if they're going to replace your face at some point, right? I mean,
at some point it will be completely, you won't even need actors, right? You would just be able to generate them on the spot where you want.
It's just a matter if it's cheaper or not. Like because a lot of things that you can already do with CGI, a lot of people don't do it because it's less expensive to do a little bit on physical and then a little bit on CGI. So I guess it's going to be a mixture of two, to some degree.
Makes sense.
Yeah. This was...
super interesting. How do you, by the way, I'm curious, I did
this is the paper.
I am...
Oh, sorry.
Let's just one thing I want to ask you before we go